Well, you know, it seems like now that the girls can actually talk about what happens in VShojo, or was quote, sorry, what happened at the now defunct VShojo. Silvervale has come out and said a few things. We're gonna jump in and react to what she has to say. I haven't watched, obviously, what she has to say, so I imagine it's probably gonna be a little emotional, should we say. It says here, Silvervale can't hold tears, sharing her experience with VShojo and Gun Run. But before we jump all the way into that, do me the giant favor of hitting those like and subscribe buttons. Let's up those numbers! And of course, the follow buttons on Twitch and Kick. Alright, let's jump in here to what she has to say.
Truth is brought to the light, then letting it fester deeper. Yeah, exactly. Okay. I don't really know how to start it, so I guess I'll just kind of go right into it. I know people probably have a lot of questions and have been wondering a lot of things, and have wanted to know my side. It feels really weird to be able to finally talk about this.
Yeah, we're glad she can actually finally talk about this, and seeing how, you know, VShojo is now defunct, the majority of the, oh, what are they called again? I forgot. The can't talk to anybody contracts, but my brain just fucking died for a second. But now are going to dissolve.
Oh, I was in VShojo for 2 years and 5 months, and that is a really long time. But it was a really long time ago. And I was just kind of fully resigned to think that I'd never be able to talk about my experiences and what went on in the company. It's been years, and I guess I accepted that I would probably take it to my grave because of the legality of it. And I thought I could never talk about it, and it's kind of crazy to be talking about it now. I just tried to stay positive and appreciate where I am now and this fantastic community that I've built over the years, and I love you guys so freaking much. It was an experience that fucked me up a lot, but I learned a lot from in the long run. I mentioned earlier on Twitter that I had signed a really strong NDA, and I didn't want to say too much.
Yeah, NDA, that's the one I was trying to think of. Thanks, Silverville.
But after doing some research, I feel like it might be okay to talk about it under the circumstances of where the company is right now.
Yeah, because they're defunct. What are they going to do? If there's no company, they can't sue you for it, right? I would assume that's how that would work.
So, against my better judgment, I'm gonna talk about some things. I know all the news has been surprising to everyone, and my heart goes out to every single talent who's been affected by this. This has been crazy, and the communities have had their trust broken because VShojo was really special to a lot of people. Despite everything that happened, it was a big deal to a lot of people.
Yeah, which is just proving never put your trust in a company. Never put your trust in any company whatsoever. And I should probably actually put Silver on the screen there. At least you could hear her while I was blabbing away. But never trust a company, period. If a company tells you that they have your best interest in mind, we're family, you're like family to us, or any of that crap, run the fuck away.
But VShojo was scummy for a long time. But I never ever could have imagined they would do something this fucked up. Like, I'm fucking livid that they had the audacity to fucking steal from a charity. Like, not only stealing from their members, which is fucked up in itself, obviously, but stealing from a charity is like so fucking vile. Like, that's...
Yeah, that like... I've said it in other videos, and I'll repeat it here too. It's just baffling to me how you can steal, not only money from your contractors or your what should be employees, but from your contractors, from your talent. You still hundreds of thousands of dollars from them. And on top of it, you still over $500,000 from a fucking charity? Really?
Literally the worst thing you could possibly do. And no one deserves to have their trust abused like this. And VTubers make the agency, not the other way around. And I'm f***ing pissed that they kept taking advantage of the people that they were supposed to protect.
Yep.
And I didn't think that it was still going on, and I'm f***ing pissed. Sorry. I think everyone...
I mean, I'm going to kind of push back on Silvervale on this one just a little bit. Just a little bit. If it happened to you, which I'm assuming it did, why would you not fully think that is going to happen to other people? I'm not understanding that. But then again, at the same time, she was under the NDA. So she was probably told that she can't talk to the girls. And she was definitely told she can't go public and say anything. So I get why, yeah, I understand, but still, you know.
Wants to know how this happened and where the money went. And I don't want to think it's out of malice more than incompetence, but with everything coming out, it's hard not to wonder. Like, this is really f***ed up. I don't know who to blame, and I wish I did. I don't know if I'll
Yeah, because that really is.
Whew, that's a lot of bullshit.
ever find out. VShojo staff wasn't all evil. It was made up of a lot of good people who were really passionate and tried their best with what they had. And I had a lot of good memories with a lot of them. I think there was just a lot of mishandling things in the business and people running things that definitely should not have been running them. There were so many internal issues and technical issues and a lot of things that just weren't ran professionally at all. There was a lot of incompetence and a lot of things wrong.
Yeah, as I've said, you know, with Gun Run deciding he was going to do the whole, I'm going to put out a statement and make you believe that I am the sole responsible person for this. I am going to take the knife, blah, 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 kind of bullshit. No. It is a group activity to fuck up a company that much.
It didn't start that way though. I was one of the founding members of VShojo, and in the beginning it was everything I could have ever dreamt of. We got to be cool idols and have cool merch and be this cool official group. A group of people you could look up to that inspired others, and it was so f***ing special. Like, we were a family. We thought of the name together. We were told so many big promises and cool projects and events that we would do. Like, I can't even list them all out. They were so cool, and there were so many of them, and we didn't do half of them. It was the biggest opportunity of my life. The first months were amazing, but I was young, naive, and just excited, and I didn't think anything was wrong. And it feels like a totally different lifetime thinking back on it, honestly. I was just so excited to be a part of something, you know, like, I'd only been streaming for a really, really short time, like, I think like a year, like a really short time. And I had worked minimum wage jobs for my whole entire life, so being able to be a streamer and be a part of something so cool on top of it was huge. And the original contract...
Yeah, could you imagine, right? You get that opportunity and everything is perfect for you and it turns into an absolute nightmare. That's, yeah.
Was pretty predatory, but like, I had no idea at the time, you know, like, I was way too trusting. I think we all were. Like, we were all so new to this. We were new to the industry. We had no idea. I did notice there wasn't an exit clause, which should have been a huge red flag, because that's crazy. But I was really excited, and I got them to add the exit clause to all the girls' contracts, even though it was baffling that it wasn't there in the first place. Like, that's, if you don't know what an exit clause is, it's the clause that lets you leave the company if something's wrong, and that...
Well, of course there wasn't an exit clause because they knew that you girls were going to be the money makers, and if the money makers leave for any reason, well, then no more money. But apparently, even when you stay, still no more money because the management of the company is dog shit. So I guess other way, right?
Was not there in the beginning. From what I've seen so far, every current talent hasn't been paid on time. Correct me if I'm wrong, but
from what I've seen as well, nobody's been paid. And they're not going to be, unfortunately.
From what I've seen, everyone hasn't been paid, which is crazy. Before I left VShojo, they owed me tens of thousands of dollars, like a metric ton of money, like a lot of money, like an insane amount. Like a ton of money. I think originally they just hoped that we wouldn't catch on to the missing funds. Like, I would repeatedly ask how the sponsor payments were going, and they would just always say it was in the works, so they were waiting on the sponsor, like so many different excuses. And I know people probably wonder, like, why didn't you know this earlier? But it took them months to pay out sponsors, so it was easy to lose track. And like, I didn't know at the time that that wasn't normal, that they weren't supposed to take that long, and it was easy to.
Yeah, and I think that was on purpose. I think they took months to pay out sponsors so that the girls would lose track. Because, I mean, okay, think of how easy it is to lose track of one of your own bills, right? Say you have, like the majority of people anymore, you have outstanding medical debt. And for some reason, 1 month, 2 months maybe, you can't make the payment. You just can't. And you're like, fuck it, skip it. I'll double the payment next month, or I'll make it up somehow. I'll add $20 to each payment for the next few months or whatever. You come up with that excuse in your head because everybody that has no money has done this. And there's no way you can tell me you haven't if you're fucking broke. Okay? But yeah, the next payment comes, you still don't have the money. So 2, 3 payments go by, and then you have the money for a payment. So you pay a payment, but you still get the letter that says, hey, you hadn't paid us. But you forget that you hadn't paid those other payments, because you go, okay, fine, well, I'll just make some of it up on the next payment. But you don't do that because you don't have the extra money. But you still owe those 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 payments, however many payments you're behind, don't you? It's the same thing, just with a lot more fucking money. And with them just not paying at all, I guess. So it's not really the same thing at all, is it? It's close. Oh, I know. So you missed all those payments. Somebody calls you and you go, oh, I'll pay next month. Next month rolls around. You don't have the money, so you don't pay it. Somebody calls you. Oh, I'll pay next month. And eventually you kind of forget that, and they stop calling because they're done. Like, put the girls in the situation of the debt collector. You know, you're tired of calling this person month after month and getting the same answer, so they stop calling and they give it to somebody else to do. And obviously nobody fucking pays any money.
Lose track of them. And like, you wouldn't have even considered that they would be doing something like that in the first place. Like, they're your place of work, people you trust. You would never think these people might be not paying me money. Like, you would never just assume that. So it took a while to notice. And I was livid when I went through all my payment history near the end and saw just how much it was withheld from me. It was crazy. And like, I always put my whole heart into sponsors. You guys know that. I love them. I care a lot about them, and they're a big deal for me. And to find out that I haven't been paid for them felt horrible. It's kind of funny and like really sad and up because we've had people over the years come in and be like, oh my god, you're Scotty from Smite. Oh my god, I love your Smite skin. Oh my god. And I was never allowed to say that I never got paid for it. And that really sucked.
So,
I was never paid by VShojo for the Ironside PC, Advanced GG, like.
so she wasn't, just plain flat, wasn't paid for a bunch of shit. Not like she was just kind of like not paid a little bit here and there. There's like, holy cow, man. So if this happened to her back then, this definitely happened to the most recent girls.
Tons of other sponsors over the years. I forgot how they were. Yeah, I'm Scotty, and I never got that money. The very first sponsor I even got, I was so excited for it, I think I cried. Like, when I got my very first sponsor. I don't know if you guys remember that. And obviously I cry really easily, so it's not saying a lot, but like, it was a huge deal to me. And
I mean, well, yeah. Of course it's a huge deal. Are you kidding? Shit, if you're working toward that, or even if you're really not, and somebody comes to you and says, "Hey, just think if you're a streamer or a VTuber or whatever, and you're small, and I don't mean small like by my terms, where like I get like 50 viewers or whatever on a video or some shit. No, I mean small in the relative term of, okay, this is probably going to go somewhere, like, you know, a couple hundred viewers on Twitch and Kick, and you know, your videos get 20,000 average views on YouTube. You got a couple, I don't know, 4,000 or 5,000. Excuse me, I had to sneeze. Oh, there went the third one. Okay, sorry. Where was I? Oh, subscribers on YouTube. You know, it's enough to add up to say, hey, there's something here. But you still haven't got one yet, and somebody says, hey, you know what? I tell you what. We're gamer subs. Okay, let's go with that. And hey, here's your promotional thing. We'll pay so much per sale, yada yada yada. Go for it. And you make, you know, say that first month you only make $200 or $300, okay? That's pretty fucking exciting. That's $200 or $300 you didn't have in the first place. Okay, minus taxes, of course, yes. That's money you didn't have in the first place. That's extra money in your pocket, so you can pay for a model or emojis or emotes and all that fun shit. That's money to put back into your brand and help you grow. That is exciting shit. And that's also putting into your head the knowledge that, yes, you are good enough to have a sponsor. You are good enough for people to take your word and buy a drink powder or a, I don't know, keyboard, a mouse pad, trip to Tahiti, whatever it may be. You have earned that trust in your community, and your community will grow because of that. That's pretty fucking exciting to me.
it was the first sponsor that I had after a year of being a VShojo, which honestly was kind of nuts in itself that it took so long to get one. When getting sponsors was their main job, and it took them a year to get me one. That's kind of insane.
It took them a year to find a sponsor for her? Really? I'm willing to bet. Could I find a... I've never actually looked for sponsors. And I don't know the first thing about finding a sponsor. I kind of have an idea of what they go off of numbers-wise. But I have no idea how to find a sponsor. I wonder if little old me, little old 551 subscriber, 100 view video-ish, if I'm lucky, guy could find a sponsor. I might have to look into that and see if that's a challenge I can take.
It wasn't even like a big game, but it was my very first official sponsor, and like I was so excited. And that was in 2021, and I didn't get paid for that one either. Like it was.
She didn't get paid. What? So a year in, it takes them a year to find her a sponsor. Her first one, and she didn't even get paid for it? What a bunch of horseshit.
It was years. It was years of this. To put it in perspective, I made more money in the first few months in Mythic than I made in my whole entire time in VShojo. And
She made more money in a couple of months with Mythic than her entire time at VShojo. What does that not surprise me?
I was there for two and a half years almost. It's crazy. Yeah, all the way back to 2021. It was a long time. And I left around when new contracts were being given, and I contacted someone I knew professionally who introduced me to a lawyer, and they were absolutely fantastic, and I'm so thankful for them for navigating such a crazy situation. Like, this was insane. She said the contract they wanted me to sign was the most predatory she'd ever seen, and she like specializes in this kind of stuff, so that was really telling. I had asked VShojo to adjust the contract, and they refused. Which was, I wasn't asking for a lot to be changed. But VShojo was so upset that we had lawyers help.
Yeah, just, to be a fair and honest contract. It was good for everybody all around and not a predatory fucking shithead contract. So, yeah, I'm sure I could see exactly why VShojo was pissed. Them and their apparently their lawyer that's actually not a real lawyer.
Helping us with leaving and
allegedly
looking over the contract, and like we were belittled and shamed to the other talents for using a lawyer, which is crazy. Like, we were made to look evil and greedy when it was a perfectly logical thing for us to want to be.
Yes, you're made to look evil and greedy and horrible when you stand up for yourself. Sounds like a pretty corporate thing to me.
We paid what we're owed and for wanting to be careful with something as serious as your livelihood, but we were like villainized for that. And before I left, I reached out to all of the talent that would listen, and I suggested they check their payments, and I told them that I was owed money and they might be too. I warned as many people as I could. I tried my hardest. I told them as much as I could about everything.
Well, I'm glad that she tried to do that, but unfortunately in this case, I can almost guarantee what happened was she left, and VShojo, the management at VShojo immediately contacted all the other talent and said, hey, she's going to come to you and she's going to say all these things. It's not true. Don't believe her. She's full of crap. We had to let her go because of quote unquote reasons that we can't legally speak about. We had to let her go. It was bad. We're really sad to see all this happen, but unfortunately, she's just not gonna work out, and just don't believe what she says. We're here for you because you girls, you were like our family.
And I think it was eye-opening for them, but like they had their own reasons for not wanting to leave, like wanting to give it more time, or thinking it wasn't happening to them, or like staying for the other members or new members that were coming soon that they wanted to be a support system for. And I completely understand that, but I tried my hardest to warn them. to warn who I could. Like I wouldn't
Never stay at a shitty job for your coworkers.
have not told them something like that. Like just as a precaution, like just check, you know. But I could never warn anyone publicly. And frankly, like if I did, who would have even believed me? VShojo was a huge brand and they had so much power and sway. Like they were terrifying. You may not realize it, but they were terrifying. Like the threat of them suing me was very real and it haunted me for a really, really, really long time. Like even before it was announced that I was leaving, I had just mentioned in my Discord, just like casually, that I was stressed and I needed to cancel the stream, and they contacted my lawyer because of that and threatened to sue me if I hinted that I was leaving or unhappy at all, just because I said I was stressed. So imagine me saying anything else. Yeah.
Fucking wow.
Like they were watching me like a hawk. I think they were watching all of us because we were the first ones. We were the first ones to leave. And I love this agency, dude. Like, or what I had imagined it would be. It was really special to me, and I loved all the memories I made there with all of the girls. It was really special. But the internal workings of the agency just got to be so messed up, and it was so much emotional torment for us. Like we were lied to and misled for a long time. We were pitted against each other and told different things so that if anything went wrong, we blamed each other instead of the agency. They had leaderboards, like internal leaderboards.
So basically, what I'm hearing is VShojo treated these girls like they were in high school. You know, because this is a high school type tactic, is it not? To tell everybody a different story and have everybody pitted against each other? Or, well, shit, actually, no, it's a workplace thing too, because I've seen it happen at my job, so fucking hell.
Boards to make us compete against each other. You were considered a problem person for rocking the boat or voicing any concerns. We were told not to discuss sponsorships or what staff told us to each other.
Not to discuss things with each other. Hey, don't discuss your sponsorship with each other, which I'm gonna side a little bit, just a little bit. You know, don't crucify me for this. I'm gonna side just a little bit with VShojo on the don't talk to each other about sponsorships, okay? Because if, you know, you bring in an average of 100,000 viewers on your streams and on your with streams and YouTube, all that, all together, whatever, you're going to get a certain amount of money. You're going to be worth a certain amount of money to whatever company it is that's doing the sponsorship. Now, if you bring 500,000 eyes to the sponsorship, then you're going to be worth a lot more money. So you're going to get paid different depending on either one. I can see that, and I think maybe the justification for telling your talent not to talk to each other about those particular things could be, and this is at least where my logic goes, the jealousy factor. I wouldn't want a smaller streamer or a smaller VTuber, smaller talent, to feel jealous of a larger one for bringing in more money. And unfortunately, it works that way a lot of the time. No matter how you look at it, jealousy is just a factor. So I could kind of get behind them on that, but still, they're still a shitty company.
Did everything they possibly could to compartmentalize all of us and make it feel like we were nothing without them. The internal culture just made it feel like you had to work for brownie points in hopes of like getting their support and adoration. They had convinced us that we were working for them when they were supposed to be working for us. Like yeah. I can't stress enough how trapped it felt like we were. Oh, so I gotta blow my nose. Hold on. Sorry, guys. This is a lot. I hope it makes sense. I'm just kind of rambling. But it was really bad, and we were lied to and misled for a really long time. And I don't think we realized how bad it was, or that this wasn't normal, because we just wanted them to like us, and we wanted to do a good job in a place that was taking advantage of us, but we had no idea. Like, I can't explain it, but in the moment, it didn't, like, it felt like that's how it was supposed to be, even though it was so messed up. And I'd wanted to leave for a while after noticing the lack of payments. But like the culmination of how I was treated really solidified me leaving. And when all of the Wizard Game stuff was happening, if you guys remember that, I know a lot of people think that I had no support, and you can't imagine how true that was. I was put into a call with Gunn, the CEO of the company, like someone that I admired and I looked up to and I wanted to please, someone that I thought was the coolest person ever. And he told me that I was a damage to the brand, that I was a disappointment. I was told that me being harassed was an inconvenience to the other talents and not to...
What a giant piece of fucking crap. You're an embarrassment because you have your own opinion. You're an embarrassment because people you can't control are harassing you. And the other talent might get a little bit of the flack from it. What a bunch of horseshit. That guy deserves to kick them balls.
Talk to them. Optics were more important than their own talent's well-being. And I was suspended from streaming. They said it wasn't a suspension because they weren't that kind of agency. But what else do you call being told not to stream? Talent freedom, right? And this broke me. Like, it shattered my perception of everything, and it shattered my trust, and it just fucking broke me, man. Like, I have been a part of this agency since the beginning, the literal beginning. Like, I was a founding member. I had put in so much effort and time and love into like seeing it grow, and to be treated so harshly with no remorse by someone so important to me just ruined me. And when I needed their support the most, I was met with contempt, and that just broke me. Sorry, I know it was like really heavy shit, but it's just a lot. And
I'm glad she can finally come out and get all this shit off her chest. I really am. This is a bunch of horse shit. This is stuff that, they literally made her sign an NDA in order to push all of this crap under the rug. And I bet they did this with all of the girls.
Later, of course, reached out to some of the talent and told them, I don't think I was supposed to, but I told them about that, and they said they didn't agree, that they were on my side, that they were surprised that I was treated that way. And when we left, they of course discredited us to the staff and the other members as soon as we left. Like,
So yeah, that's how it works. Unfortunately, it's shitty. It's really shitty. I don't have any actual words for this.
They painted us as troublemakers and problem people, that we were greedy and asked for more money. There's like so many horrible things just to avoid the truth that they were stealing from us. And they intentionally announced Vay and I leaving at the same time, so it looked like we left together, even though Nyan wanted to leave at the same time.
No, they weren't just stealing from you. If they had a contract to pay you money, which they did, and the sponsors were paying, which I'm pretty sure they were committing fraud. They were defrauding you, the contractor.
And they refused to let her...
At least, that's my understanding.
...her leave at the same time because they wanted it to look better for them. Like, it's not like we were all jumping ship at the same time. They literally held her hostage so it would look better for them. And they advised the talents to stop associating with us. And I later found out that they'd been slandering me to musicians and artists that I had worked with through VShojo, and slandering me to companies and ruined potential business partnerships that I was really, really excited for some of my...
And oh, see, there you go. And also slandering to potential business partnerships. So I'm assuming this is stuff that had already been being worked on her end anyway. And isn't that something you can sue for? Isn't that defamation, if I'm thinking correctly? Because you have to prove that they may have taken money out of your pocket or something like that. I'm not 100% sure. Obviously, I'm not a lawyer. I'm just a dude that pretends to be a cartoon on the internet, so, you know. But that seems to be like it's some type of defamation to where that takes money out of your pocket and fucks with your business. Seems like it's almost something you could sue for. But now that, now that VShojo is no more JoJo, then I guess that's kind of too late.
Like dream collabs that were gonna happen. And like staff was known to astroturf everywhere. Like they even run some of the really large VTuber clip channels. Like they were everywhere. And they had their hand in every pie.
Oh yeah.
And there was a lot of speculation and accusations, and like they did everything they could to discredit us. So, and like no one would know that anything was wrong. And all of our concerns were downplayed and lied to and lied about, and like we could never speak up to say anything different because like we had a non-disparagement agreement, but that went both ways. Like, but I never would have been able to handle that legal battle ever, and they knew that. Like they were a huge company with a lot of money and a lot of power, and we were nothing compared to that. And like every time VShojo was lauded as like amazing agency that everyone loved so much, it just made me sick knowing that they were doing this and not being able to stop it or say anything. And I don't know, I just kept hoping that things were better there. New members and current ones weren't being mistreated, and obviously they were.
I mean, like I said before, I know you can hope that things get better, but if you're treated like crap from a company, that means they're going to treat future people the same way as they did you. That's unless there's a change from the top down, nothing will change.
But I just kept hoping that like it got better after we left and they learned not to do that. And I don't know if I can really put into words how much all of this devastated me. Like I'm a really emotional person. As you guys know, I wear my heart on my sleeve. And I feel things really strongly, and I can't help it. But like this was the darkest place I had ever been because of this. Like I don't really like too heavy or like depressing or anything, but like I was in a really, really dark place, and I was thinking about a lot of really dark thoughts and acting on them. And like I hope you can grasp just how horrible my mental state was. Like this, I had lost everything. And like my world was torn apart. Like this is the worst experience I'd ever gone through. I had no support. Like my world was just destroyed, and like I felt so isolated. Like my own agency had drilled into my head that I wasn't valuable and turned everyone against me and convinced me I was alone, that I didn't deserve anything. Like that they could steal from me and get away with it. And it was...
But they did. They did all of those things. They made her feel alone, invaluable, useless. And they stole her money from her. Just like they stole that $500,000 in charity funds. Just like they stole money from Mouse and Zen and everybody else.
Honestly, I was so burnt out, and I was so sad, and I was struggling really bad. And like I tried really hard not to show you guys, but I'm sure you can see the difference. but it was really hard. It was a really dark time. And hopefully you guys can understand
Fuck corpos.
that, how I acted initially after having dealt with all of this, like, isn't indicative of my character or who I am. Like, there was so much going on behind the scenes that affected me so negatively that I could never ever talk about it. Like, I could never say the shit that was going on, and it felt impossible to navigate it, you know? And I hope that all the girls can get the money they're owed. I don't know if that's possible, but I fucking hope so, and have some closure from all of this. And I hope they know that they have.
Yeah, unfortunately, with the filing for bankruptcy, I don't think they're going to get any of it. Yeah, if they file for bankruptcy anyway, I don't think that the girls, the talent, are going to get any of that money. But they are rightfully owed. And, well, you know, I'm kind of hoping, though, that this pushes talent away from these big corporations. Stay independent. Maybe find someone that'll help you get sponsorships and sponsorships only, like Mythic. I mean, that's how I understand they work. I understand that Mythic just says, hey, here's our person. They get this many views, blah, 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 blah. What's the deal? And they'll negotiate a higher thing for you, so they take their cut, you take your cut, and you move on. I think that's probably a better deal.
Dude, they have so much support without this stupid agency. Like, we all thought it would give us value and make us special, when we're the ones that made it special since the very beginning.
Yes, the talent is the ones that make the corpo special. I'm sorry, but I never watched VShojo shit because it was VShojo. I didn't give a flying horse fuck about the company VShojo. I watched VShojo girls because they entertain me. I'll watch Hololive people too because they entertain me. Don't care what company you come from. If you're loyal to the corpo company that the girls are quote-unquote contracting for, then, well, I'm sorry, you're a fucking moron.
And all of this has been so awful for everyone involved, but, you know, hopefully it can bring change for the future, and I hope everyone can get closure. And it's been heartwarming.
Yeah, so you know what? I think that gives us what we need. But that tells that right there, what we've seen, that tells us everything we need to know about the culture that was the company of VShojo. The shit manipulating piece of crap culture that was that company. And if you think that's bad, what about, I don't know, what about all the other companies that are doing currently, right now, doing the exact same thing to their talent? What about the companies that are doing these same things right now to the talent that they have, that are literally being put in the same positions? You cannot hate corporations enough, folks. Fuck the corpos, fuck VShojo, and you know what? While we're at it, fuck everyone else too. Anyway, I'm going to end that one here. Do me the giant favor of... Let's up those numbers! And hit the subscribe button on YouTube. Hit the follow button on Twitch and on Kick. And I will see you again for another video. Thanks for sticking around. Bye-bye.